Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into how to absolutely crush it in your upcoming lifeguard instructor interview.
Exciting stuff.
It is. And we got some pretty cool resources to help us out today. RoleCatcher's Career and Interview Guides.
Yeah, these are fantastic resources. You know what's really interesting about RoleCatcher, though? It goes beyond just giving you information.
Oh,
They actually use AI to help tailor your application and prep you for the interview.
whoa, that's pretty high tech.
It is. It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
I like the sound of that. Okay, so let's break this down. First up, we need to understand what a lifeguard instructor actually does.
Right.
The career guide says they're responsible for teaching aspiring lifeguards.
Yeah.
You know, all the essentials, water rescue techniques, first aid emergency response protocols, the whole shebang.
Absolutely. It's a pretty big responsibility.
It is. But here's something I found interesting. It's not always on the beach.
Oh, that's right. You could be working at pools, water parks, even lakes.
Exactly. So many different environments.
Yeah. And that diversity is definitely appealing to a lot of people.
For sure. And of course, there's the whole, saving lives thing.
Of course, a huge pro.
Definitely. But we can't sugarcoat it. There are some cons, too. It's a high responsibility role. You're dealing with potential accidents.
You're right. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's dive into those interview questions and see how RoleCatcher can help us prep.
Sounds good.
The first one seems pretty straightforward. What experience do you have as a lifeguard?
Yes. The classic experience question.
So how do we tackle this one?
Well, we need to go beyond just listing our past jobs. The interviewer is looking for evidence of your hands-on experience, the types of facilities you've worked at, how many swimmers you supervised, emergencies you've handled.
So really painting a picture of our capabilities.
Exactly, not just reciting the resume.
And what I love about RoleCatcher is they provide insights and approach tips for each question.
Very helpful.
It really helps you frame your response.
They also highlight what to avoid, which is great for steering clear of those common mistakes.
Oh, for sure. And then, of course, they have a sample response for each question.
A great starting point.
So for this first question, they suggest saying something like, I've been a certified lifeguard for 5 years working at both indoor and outdoor facilities, including community pools, water parks, and beaches. I've supervised groups of up to 200 swimmers at a time and have successfully responded to a variety of emergencies, including water rescues, spinal injuries, and first aid situations.
Nice. It covers all the bases.
Right. But obviously, you'd want to tailor this to your own experience.
Of course, highlight those specific situations that really showcase your skills.
Now, I'm thinking the interviewer might have some follow-up questions, right?
Oh, absolutely. They might ask you to describe a specific emergency you handled and how you applied the lifeguarding protocols.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's move on to question 2. What qualifications do you have as a lifeguard instructor?
All right, now we're getting into those credentials.
What are they looking for here?
They want to know what certifications you hold, where you got them, and how much experience you have actually teaching others.
So it's not just about being a lifeguard. It's about being able to teach.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher emphasizes being specific and highlighting the relevance of your qualifications to the role.
Makes sense. They also warn against exaggerating or making false claims.
Right. Honesty and transparency are key.
So what's their sample response for this one?
They suggest saying something like this. I hold a current insert certifying body lifeguard instructor certification, which I obtained month year. This comprehensive training program covered all aspects of lifeguarding, including water rescue techniques, first aid, and CPR emergency response protocols and teaching methodologies.
Wow, that's pretty thorough.
It is. And then they add, I also have number of years of experience teaching lifeguarding courses to individuals of various ages and skill levels, both in classroom and practical settings.
Again, you'd adapt this to your own situation.
Of course, highlight your own unique experience and qualifications.
What kind of follow-up questions do you think they might ask here?
They might ask about specific challenges you faced while teaching and how you overcame them.
That's a good one.
Or they might even ask you to describe your teaching style and how you tailor your approach to different learners.
Okay, so be prepared to showcase your teaching expertise.
Exactly. Let's move on to question 3. How do you assess the swimming abilities of potential lifeguards?
Okay, this one seems pretty specific.
It is. It's all about demonstrating your evaluation skills and ensuring that candidates meet those required standards.
So it's not just watching them do a few laps.
No. It's about assessing their proficiency in different strokes, their endurance, their ability to perform rescues, and their overall comfort and competence in the water.
Right, because Being a strong swimmer is just one part of it.
Exactly. There's a lot more to it than that. And RoleCatcher has some good avoid tips for this question.
Oh, like what?
Well, they say to avoid relying solely on subjective observations or failing to provide clear and specific feedback to candidates.
Okay, so be objective and be specific.
Precisely. Now, their sample response for this one is excellent. They suggest saying, I use a combination of standardized tests and practical observations to assess the swimming abilities of potential lifeguards. The standardized tests evaluate their proficiency in various swimming strokes, their endurance, and their ability to perform rescue techniques. I also observe their overall comfort level in the water, their body positioning, and their ability to adapt to different water conditions.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive approach.
It is. It shows that you understand the complexities of swimming assessment.
Now, I'm wondering what kind of follow-up questions they might ask here.
Well, they might ask you to describe a specific swimming test you use.
Oh, yeah. Or how you handle situations where a candidate might be struggling to meet the standards.
Exactly. They could also ask about your knowledge of specific swimming assessment protocols or any challenges you've encountered during evaluations.
Okay, so be ready to get into the nitty-gritty of swimming assessment.
For sure. All right. Let's tackle question 4. How do you ensure that lifeguards are properly trained and prepared to respond to emergencies?
This one seems pretty crucial.
It is. This question is all about your training expertise and your ability to develop and deliver effective training programs.
So showing them that we know how to create lifeguards who are ready for anything.
Exactly. They want to see that you understand the importance of hands-on practice, simulated emergency scenarios, and ongoing evaluation and feedback.
Right, because it's not just about teaching theory. It's about making sure they can apply it in real-life situations.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher reminds us to highlight our understanding of adult learning principles and our ability to create engaging and realistic training experiences.
So making the training both effective and engaging?
Exactly. Now, their sample response for this question is quite detailed.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay. They suggest saying, I develop comprehensive training programs that cover all aspects of lifeguarding, from basic water rescue techniques to advanced emergency response protocols. I use a variety of teaching methods, including classroom instruction, hands-on practice, and simulated emergency scenarios. I also emphasize the importance of teamwork communication and critical thinking skills. Throughout the training process, I continuously evaluate the lifeguard's performance, provide feedback, and offer opportunities for improvement.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
It is, but it really demonstrates a commitment to creating a robust and effective training program.
Yeah, I can see how that would impress an interviewer.
And here's where they might ask some follow-up questions about your experience with different training methods,
Makes sense.
specific training challenges you faced, or even your philosophy on ongoing professional development for lifeguards.
Right. It's important to be able to elaborate on these topics and show that you've given them some thought.
Exactly. Now, before we move on to the next set of questions, I want to touch on something really interesting from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
It mentions the importance of showcasing your capabilities beyond just your certifications.
Tell me more.
Well, the guide suggests highlighting any additional skills or experience you have that might be relevant to the role.
Like what kind of skills?
Things like strong communication skills, leadership experience, or even experience working with diverse populations.
Ah, so it's about showing them that you're a well-rounded individual who brings more to the table than just the bare minimum qualification.
Exactly. And this is something that RoleCatcher's AI can really help you with.
Oh, how so?
Their platform can analyze your skills and experience and suggest ways to highlight them in your application and interview answers.
Okay, I'm definitely interested in learning more about that later on. But for now, let's continue with those interview questions.
Sounds good.
Up next, we have, how do you ensure that lifeguards are adhering to safety protocols and procedures?
This is a big one.
It is.
Yeah.
It's all about demonstrating your commitment to maintaining those high safety standards.
Right. They want to see that you're not just teaching the rules, but that you're actively enforcing them and creating a culture of safety.
So walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher suggests focusing on 3 key elements: consistent monitoring, clear communication, and a system for addressing any violations.
So having a system in place to make sure those protocols are being followed.
Precisely. Not just hoping for the best.
Okay, so what's their sample answer for this one?
They suggest saying something like this: I believe that consistent monitoring, clear communication, and a fair but firm system for addressing violations are essential for maintaining safety protocols. I regularly observe lifeguards on duty, provide constructive feedback, and conduct periodic reviews of safety procedures. I also encourage open communication and create a culture where lifeguards feel comfortable reporting any concerns or potential hazards.
I really like how they emphasize not just enforcement, but also fostering a culture of open communication.
Me too. That's so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking they might ask about a specific time you had to address a safety violation.
Oh, yeah. Or how you handle situations where a lifeguard might be resistant to following protocols.
Okay, so be prepared to share some real-world examples of your leadership and conflict resolution skills.
Definitely. Moving on to question 6. How do you handle difficult situations or conflicts with lifeguards or other staff members?
Ah, the dreaded conflict resolution question.
It's bound to come up in any leadership role,
Hmm.
and lifeguard instructor is no exception.
Right. Because let's be real. Working with people means dealing with different personalities and occasional disagreements.
It does, so we need to show them we can handle those situations effectively.
Exactly. So what's the best approach here?
RoleCatcher's advice is to demonstrate your ability to remain calm, listen actively, and find mutually agreeable solutions.
So basically be the peacemaker.
Exactly. They want to see that you're not going to escalate the situation, but
Yeah.
that you can de-escalate it and find common ground.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hear RoleCatcher's sample answer for this one.
All right. They offer this. I believe that open and honest communication is key to resolving any conflict. When a difficult situation arises, I first try to understand everyone's perspectives and actively listen to their concerns. I then work collaboratively with all parties involved to find a solution that addresses the issue while maintaining a respectful and positive work environment.
That's a great example of a calm and collected approach.
It shows you're not afraid of conflict, but that you see it as an opportunity to improve communication and teamwork.
I like that. And what kind of follow-up questions do you think they might ask here?
They could ask about a specific conflict you successfully resolved or how you handle situations where emotions are running high.
So be prepared to showcase your emotional intelligence and your ability to mediate effectively.
Exactly. All right. On to question 7. How do you stay up to date on the latest lifeguarding techniques and technologies?
Okay. This one's all about continuous learning.
It is. They want to know that you're not just relying on what you learned years ago, but that you're actively seeking out new information and advancements.
So showing them that you're passionate about the field and committed to staying at the forefront.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher suggests highlighting any professional development courses you've taken, industry conferences, you've attended, journals you subscribe to, or even online communities you're a part of.
So it's about showcasing your proactive approach to staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And of course, RoleCatcher has a sample answer for us.
Let's hear it.
Okay. They provide this example. I make it a priority to stay informed about the latest lifeguarding techniques and technologies through a variety of channels. I regularly attend professional development conferences and workshops, subscribe to industry journals, and actively participate in online forums and discussion groups. I also maintain close contact with other lifeguard instructors to share best practices and learn from each other's experiences.
That definitely demonstrates a commitment to staying informed.
It does. Shows you're not just passively absorbing information, but that you're actively seeking it out and engaging with the wider lifeguarding community.
Now I'm thinking they might ask about a specific new technique you've learned, or how you've incorporated new technologies into your training programs.
Right. Be prepared to share specific examples that demonstrate your commitment to staying at the forefront of the field.
Okay, on to the final question. How do you balance the need for safety with the need for a positive and enjoyable experience for patrons?
This is a great one.
It is. It really gets to the heart of what it means to be a successful lifeguard instructor.
Exactly. It's about understanding that safety is paramount. But it's also about creating a welcoming and enjoyable environment for everyone.
Because nobody wants a lifeguard who's a total buzzkill.
Right. You need to show that you can create a fun atmosphere while still maintaining those high safety standards.
So how do we strike that balance?
RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of clear communication, positive reinforcement, and proactive risk management.
So setting clear expectations, recognizing good behavior, and anticipating potential hazards before they become problems.
Exactly. And what's their sample response?
Let's hear it.
They suggest saying something like this. I believe that safety and enjoyment go hand in hand. I create a positive and welcoming environment by engaging with patrons, clearly communicating safety rules, and consistently reinforcing positive behavior. I also proactively identify and address potential hazards to minimize risks and ensure everyone can have a fun and safe experience.
That's a great way to show that you understand the delicate balance between safety and enjoyment.
It is. And I bet this question leads to some interesting follow-ups.
Oh, for sure.
They might ask about specific strategies you use to create a positive atmosphere, how you handle situations where patrons might be breaking the rules, or even your thoughts on the role of lifeguards in promoting water safety awareness.
Right, so be prepared to showcase your communication skills, your ability to enforce rules fairly, and your overall commitment to creating a positive aquatic experience for everyone.
Exactly.
Well, we've done it. We've tackled all 8 interview questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide.
We have. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier: career paths and specializations within lifeguard instruction.
Yes, RoleCatcher's career guide had some fascinating insights on this.
It did. For example, did you know that you can specialize in areas like open water lifeguarding pool management? Or even training lifeguards for specific environments like water parks or beaches?
I had no idea. It sounds like there's a lot of room for growth and specialization within this field.
There is. And the career guide outlines a clear progression from trainee instructor to senior instructor, highlighting how your responsibilities and expertise evolve as you gain experience.
That's really helpful information for
Yeah.
anyone considering a career in lifeguard instruction.
It is, and it's something you can definitely bring up in your interview to show that you've done your research and that you're thinking long-term about your career goals.
Speaking of career goals, RoleCatcher's career guide also has a section on showcasing your capabilities that I found really insightful.
Oh, absolutely. What
Upset.
stood out to you?
Well, they emphasize the importance of highlighting not just your technical skills, but also your soft skills like communication, leadership, and problem solving. They suggest using concrete examples from your experience to demonstrate these skills, which can really make your application stand out.
That's a great point. And it ties in perfectly with what we were discussing earlier about using RoleCatcher's AI to tailor your application and interview answers.
Exactly. So let's dive a little deeper into how RoleCatcher's AI can help us specifically with lifeguard instructor applications and interviews.
Well, as we mentioned before, their AI can analyze your skills and experience and suggest ways to highlight them in your application materials. But it goes beyond that. Their AI can actually provide feedback on your interview answers using the same intelligent algorithms to analyze your responses and offer suggestions for improvement.
It's like having a virtual interview coach at your fingertips.
It really is. And they even have this video practice feature where you can record yourself answering interview questions, and the AI will analyze your performance, providing you with detailed feedback on your delivery body language and overall presentation.
Wow. That's incredibly helpful, especially for anyone who gets nervous during interviews.
It is. And it can really boost your confidence knowing that you've had the opportunity to practice and refine your answers beforehand.
So it's not just about knowing the right answers. It's about presenting yourself in the best possible light and showcasing your skills and personality.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer. It can help you stand out from the competition and land that dream job.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from dissecting those tricky interview questions to exploring career paths and uncovering the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
It has been a fascinating journey, and I believe our listeners are now well equipped to tackle that lifeguard instructor interview with confidence and enthusiasm.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your final thoughts. What parting words of wisdom do you have for our listeners as they prepare to embark on this exciting career path?
I think it's about tapping into that deeper motivation.
Yeah, what really drives you to want to be a lifeguard instructor?
Right.
Oh,
Is it that challenge of mastering those life-saving skills and then passing that knowledge on to others?
that's definitely a big part of it.
Or maybe it's that mentorship aspect, shaping the next generation of lifesavers.
Yeah, that's a powerful motivator.
And of course, there's the profound impact of promoting water safety in your community.
So it's about connecting with that bigger picture.
Exactly. And let that passion shine through in your interview.
Yeah, let them see your enthusiasm.
For teaching, for safety, for making a difference in people's lives.
It's not just about checking boxes.
No, it's about showing them who you are and why you're dedicated to this role.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there to help you every step of the way.
Oh, absolutely. Their AI-powered tools can really make a difference.
Yeah, they can help you refine your application, practice your answers, and boost your confidence.
It's like having a personalized career coach right in your pocket.
So head over to RoleCatcher, sign up for a free account, and start exploring all those amazing resources.
You won't regret it.
And to all our aspiring lifeguard instructors out there, we believe in you.
You've got this.
You have the skills, the passion, and the drive to make a real difference.
Go out there and ace that interview.
Show them what you're made of.
Best of luck, future lifesavers.
We're excited to see you making waves in the world of aquatics.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive.
We'll see you next time for another insightful exploration into the world of careers.
It's easy to get lost in all those details.
Oh, for sure. All those questions and tips.
Right. But we can't forget what's at the heart of it all.
What do you mean?
What truly excites you about becoming a lifeguard instructor?
That's a good question.
Is it the challenge
The challenge of what?
of mastering those life-saving skills and then having the privilege of teaching them to others?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it.
Or maybe it's the mentorship aspect, guiding and shaping the next generation of lifesavers.
That's powerful stuff.
It is. And of course, there's the impact you can have on your community, promoting water safety, saving lives.
So it's about connecting with that deeper purpose.
Exactly. Let that passion shine through in your interview. Let them see your genuine enthusiasm for teaching, for safety, for making a difference in people's lives.
That's a great reminder. It's not just about giving the right answers. It's about showing them who you are and why you care about this work.
Well said. And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
They've got all those amazing AI tools.
They do. They can help you refine your application, practice your answers,
Yeah.
and really boost your confidence.
Like having a personalized career coach in your pocket.
Exactly. So what are you waiting for?
Head over to RoleCatcher, sign up for a free account, and start exploring.
You won't regret it.
And to all our aspiring lifeguard instructors out there, we're rooting for you. You have the skills, the passion, and the drive to make a real difference in the world.
Go out there and ace that interview.
Show them what you're made of.
Best of luck, future lifesavers. We can't wait to see you making waves in the world of aquatics.
That's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, stay safe out there.